Okay, folks, in this video lesson, we are going to look at how we multiply together surds. So essentially, writing surds in a more simplistic way. So multiplying surds, okay? There's practice questions and it's a non-calculated topic. So a very important topic for GCSE maths and even AS level maths, A-level maths, and GCSE further maths. Okay, working with surds. We're only going to look at multiplying in today's session, and then we'll look at some trickier problems here in the later sessions. But yeah, today's session is looking at multiplying, okay, surds. So question number one, okay, or part A, that's to simplify 4 times root 3. So 4 times root 3. So I write it as 4 root 3. So 4 lots of root 3 without a times sign. Be careful not to write the 4 very small here, because if you write it like this, okay, that can be expressed as the 4th root, which is not what we want, because that becomes 3 to the power of a quarter, whereas this means 4 multiplied by root 3, so 4 times the square root of 3, like that, okay? Part B, root 2 times 6, I can write it as 6 root 2, or 6 lots of root 2. Next up, part C, root 5 times root 2. Well, the laws of surds state that I can write it under 1 square root. So it's the square root of 5 times 2. And 5 times 2, guys, is 10. So we have root 10, or the square root of 10. So the square root of 5 multiplied by the square root of 2 simplifies to the square root of 10. When you multiply, when I have root A multiplied by root B, I can combine it into one root or one square root. Okay, so root A times B, which would be root AB or BA. Again, this can be extended to cube roots, fourth root, etc. But if you're multiplying roots together, you can write it under one square root. And when we come on to division, guys, if I have root A divided by root B, I can write it under one square root. So that'll be the square root of A divided by B. I can write in fractional form or fraction form, so A over B, like that. Okay, but again, we'll come on to division here in like a different video. Okay, but that is your rules. Okay, unfortunately, this doesn't work for addition and subtraction. So root A plus root B is not the same as root A plus B. And again, there are examples here. If A was 1 and B was 1, see what you get. Same here, if I have root A minus root B, that's not the same as, or not equivalent, or not equal to A minus B. So addition and subtraction, it doesn't work for, but multiplication and division, okay, I can write it under one root. Okay, so bear that in mind. Next up, part D, root 3 times root 7. Well, that'll be root 3 times 7, which is 21. Part E, root 5 times root 5. So I'm going to have 5 times 5. And 5 times 5 is 25. I have the square root of 25, which is just 5. Okay, next up, part F, 2 times 4 times root 11. Well, 2 times 4 is 8, times root 11 is 8 root 11, or 8 lots of root 11. Part G, 3 times root 2 times root 5. That'll be 3 lots of root 10, so 3 root 10s. Or 3 root 10. 2 times 5 is 10. And again, adopting this rule here, I can write it under one square root. Okay. Next up, 2 times 5 times root 17. Well, 2 times 5 is 10 times root 17 is 10 root 17, or 10 lots of root 17. Next up, 4 times root 11 times root 11. That'll be 4 lots of root 11 times 11, which is 4 lots of root 121, and the square root of 121, guys, is going to be 11. So we have 4 times 11, or 4 lots of 11, is 44. Next up, part J, 2 root 2 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16, and then we tag on the root 2. So numbers multiply with numbers, and then roots times with roots. Okay, so numbers go with numbers, surds go with surds. Okay, or surds multiply with surds, and numbers multiply with numbers. Okay, so integers multiply together, and surds multiply together. Okay, now a little point here that I'm not actually mentioned yet. If I have root b and I times it by root b, that just simplifies to b. Okay, so root 2 times root 2 is root 4, which is just 2. So that is another rule to try and remember if you can. If you can't, it's fine. Okay, but root b times root b is just b. Okay, so these are going to be your main takeaways for today's video. Okay, the bit I'm going to highlight. Okay, there. Okay, hopefully it makes sense. Okay. So yeah, okay, bear that in mind. Okay, so root 2 times root 2 is just 2. Okay, next up, root 10 times 3 root 3. We're going to have 3 lots of root 10 times root 3, so 30. So 3 root 30. Next up, 2 root 2 times root 13. Root 2 times root 13 is root 26. And then we tag on the 2 as a multiplier, so it's 2 root 26. Next up, 3 root 3 times 4 root 2, or 3 times 4 is 12. Root 3 times root 2 is root 6. Okay, now we are also going to look at, in future lessons, how we simplify surds. Okay, so don't worry about that. If you're thinking about that in today's video, we will look at that as well. Okay, in future videos or future lessons. Okay, part N, 2 root 7 times 4 root 5. 2 times 4 is 8. Root 7 times root 5 is root 35. Part O, 6 root 19 times 3 root 2. 6 times 3 is 18. Root 19 times 2 is root 38. So 18 lots of root 38. Okay, so we're getting there now. Next up, 5 root 3 times 2 root 3. 5 times 2 is 10. Remember, root 3 times root 3, use this law here. Root b times root b is just b. So root 3 times root 3 is just 3. Okay, it's root 9, which is 3. 10 lots of 3, 10 times 3 is 30. Next up, 10 root 5 times 3 root 5. 10 times 3 is 30. And I'm going to multiply that by root 5 times root 5 is just 5. So 30 times 5, 30 lots of 5 is 150. Next up, 6 root 2 multiplied by 2 root 11. 6 times 2 is 12. Root 2 times root 11 is root 22. Okay, we are nearly there, guys. So thank you for sticking with me. 12 times 10 root 19. Will that be 120? Okay, lots of root 19. Final 2 now, okay, final push. Root 3 times 2 root 3 times root 13. Well, let's just work out this bit first. Root 3 times root 3 is root 9, which is just 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So we have 6 lots of root 13. Okay, so root 3 times root 3. Remember to use your rule here. Root b times root b is just b. So root 3 times root 3 is 3. Then we multiply that by 2. And then we multiply that by root 13, or square root of 13, to get 6 lots of root 13. Okay, without the times sign. Root 7 times root 7 times root 7. So again, root 7 times root 7 is 7. So we have 7 times root 7. And 7 times root 7 is 7 lots of root 7. So 7 root 7. Okay, and that is how we multiply with surds in this video lesson. Okay, so just to summarize, if I have root A and I multiply that by root B, I can write it under 1 square root as the product of the two numbers or two terms, which is the square root of AB or BA. Okay. Similar process works for division, which we'll look at in a separate video. We can't do this for addition and subtraction. Okay, again, pause it here to have, like this proof. Okay, so give examples here where it doesn't work. For root a plus root b, square root of root a plus b. Okay, but this always works. And if I have, let's say, a root b, and I multiply that by c root d, we do the numbers on the outside, so a times c is ac, root b times d is bd. So we have ac lots of root bd, so ac root bd. Okay, so numbers times with numbers, and then surds times with surds. Okay, numbers go with numbers, surds go with surds.